Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So today, Bitcoin is on the uprise once again. Oops, too much sound there. Little bounce back to 40,000. And I'm here to say that Bitcoin is repeating the same exact pattern as before. From the last cycle, right before the halving event. Very, very similar. And this is very, very bullish. So let's talk about it. And let's talk about some of the coins that are bullish today. Many of them are memes. So let's talk about it as well. Let's do this. Welcome, 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 guys. The market bell has rung. You'll just have to pretend that I'm ringing the market bell because I still don't have mine. But you can see from last night, Bitcoin is up a little bit more, close to 40,000. It was actually above 40,000 just not too long ago. We'll probably surpass it once again. Obviously, 40,000 doesn't seem like a whole lot anymore, considering we were just at 49,000. But if you take a second to think about 40,000 Bitcoin, and the gravity of that is quite amazing, as a lot of you guys are whole coiners. To be able to hold 40,000 of any investment out there, if you think about it, is quite amazing. But you know what? It's still early. That's the thing. That's what I always say. It's still early when it comes to Bitcoin, and especially with all of crypto with Web3 and beyond. So, as for ETFs, we got some final numbers from yesterday, right? Right now, we know Grayscale is still selling a lot. In fact, yesterday was the first day where all the other ETFs couldn't offset how much Grayscale sold. So the final number came out to be 515 million sold last night, or yesterday, the whole day. And in total, all the ETFs took on about 410. So obviously there's a net loss of minus 106 million. Let's hope that doesn't continue. But that asset pile from Grayscale is going down really, really fast. It's at 20 billion now. And the way this is going, if they're going to sell off this much, they're going to be in the teens soon, right? But nevertheless, BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise, ARK, Invesco, they keep on adding more. BlackRock is above 1.7 billion. Fidelity is at 1.5 billion. Bitwise and ARK, they're both nearing $500 million. Okay, they will continue to accumulate as much as they can because they know that is the right thing to do. That's how you make money. You buy low and sell high. But as for Grayscale, they're just in a weird place right now. There's just a lot of profit taking from all the insiders that's been holding GBTC for a decade, and now they're all trying to cash out. But this is just a horrible, horrible, absolute worst time to be doing so. But I like to remind you guys, I've been saying this for a while. This is a good breakdown of the entire supply for Bitcoin and how much is held by retail investors, individual. Satoshi himself, or they sell, I mean, you know, the group or individual, who knows. You got a large number that are lost, large number of Bitcoins lost, and then you got the fund managers, the companies like MicroStrategy, and then you got governments and DeFi, right, that's holding it. You could see the unmined is very little, right? Going from here on out to 2140, there will be very little being released. It's almost insignificant compared to the overall amount. If you think about it, it's true. We're closing into 20 million overall to 21 million. So that last million is being spread out for like 100+ years. So whatever's coming out is very insignificant versus what's here. But the companies and the funds portion, that's growing really fast. But those buckets are growing really, really fast. Okay. So again, retail is leading the way, as it should, when it comes to Bitcoin. It was created by the people for the people, right? you want to make sure you take up as much of this square as you can before the funds portion, the green portion, starts eating away at everything else, because that's what's happening right now. Within just 8 days of trading, they have accumulated over 100,000 Bitcoins within just a single week, right? So make sure you don't get fudded out. Make sure you're not transferring your Bitcoin to these guys. The good thing is, when we're measuring long-term holders, okay, 70% long-term holders that's been holding at least 1 year, 1+ year, could be 2 years, 5 or 10 years, whatever it may be. The long-term holder percentage is still growing above 70%. It's near all-time high. Okay, so that is good. Retail that's in the space are definitely not leaving, but the newcomers, the ones that have gotten in with the last month or so, right? They may have left, but we know, the long-term holders know, that the winning strategy is just to hold on DCA. The longer you can do it, the more you make. That's really it. The people that got in very, very early, 2010, 2011, 2012, they're the billionaires of the world, right? And then a little bit later, the 13s to 17s to 20s, right? They're the multimillionaires of the world. So the longer you hold, the more you make. That's it. But this is part of the fundamentals, the growing fundamentals of Bitcoin. The holders, the number of Bitcoin being held by the holders and the number of holders are both increasing all-time high, despite the fact that the price is not at all-time high. So take a second to think about that. This is just a really unique chart that shows you how close we are to the halving event. You really can't even tell. Like, the very bottom right-hand corner shows you that, yeah, we got just a few months left, okay, before the halving event. And you'll notice that after the halving event, if you look on top and you look at the chart, there's a lot of things going on. I don't know what the other lines are, but the main thing is to look at what happens after a halving event. Yeah, the parabolic rises, right? And that's 3 months away. 3 months away, guys. We're very, very, very close. That's why this pattern is repeating, okay? What pattern is this? Well, this consolidation period. So when in doubt, zoom out, right? Because right now, even though it seems like we had a catastrophic drop, not really. When you zoom out, you realize, well, yeah, obviously we had much bigger drops. And we have come up very, very fast, right? But when you zoom out, it barely registers. And it's a stopping point, okay? It's a consolidation point before we go much, much higher. Much, much higher. It happened in 2020. In fact, you know what? Right before the halving event in 2020, we had the worst catastrophic drop probably right before a halving event. We had that COVID drop, right? That was not Bitcoin related. That was entire world related. That was when Bitcoin fell from 11,000 all the way down below 4,000. That was a catastrophic drop. And after that drop, I remember at that time, because I was streaming, very little people were watching me back then. People did not believe that we were going to repeat the same pattern as the 2017 pattern. People thought that Bitcoin was dead, that Bitcoin was going to go down to $1,000. Did that happen? No. Look at the V-shaped bounce that we had back in 2020. And then we continued forward, and then we started going up. Now, the thing about 2020 is, after the halving event, it took a while for Bitcoin to go up parabolically, right? It didn't happen until November, and the halving event in 2020, I believe, was in May. So it did take a few months before we saw that parabolic rise. But nevertheless, it happened when everyone thought that it was impossible because Bitcoin fell down to below $4,000, $3,800 to be exact. But it still happened, right? This time around, I don't think we had to wait that long because we have so many good catalysts that are happening and already happened. So I think it's going to be according to clockwork. But we'll see. But again, when in doubt, zoom out. You realize we're just doing the same thing as before. Nothing has changed. Even though we have a little dip, a little volatility. On the grand scheme of things, it's nothing, and you're not going to even remember in a year or maybe even 6 months, or maybe even in a week when we come back up, maybe. You're not even going to remember. As for short-term TA, if you look at, hey, this is a very, very, very common pattern that people look at, head and shoulders, or maybe, in this case, inverse head and shoulders. This is on the 1 hour chart. And on the 4 hour chart, you got a MACD bullish crossover. So both of these are pretty good, indicating a reversal is happening, right? I said last night, maybe that 38.4, 38.3 was the bottom. We'll see. Only time will tell. But today we are going higher, breaking above 40,000. And then, you know, of course, on a longer, here's another one. On a longer scale, you see this bullish hammer happening. RSI is very oversold. We filled a CME gap at 39K. These are all very bullish TA signs that show that Bitcoin is on its way up. But you know what? Here's the thing. Like I said, when in doubt, zoom out. You know, short term, we have a lot of movement, a lot of volatility, but long term, this is why I say the longer you hold, the more you make, because that's just really it. Here's another chart that shows the percentage gain right before, right, a halving event. So you had 100x, 40x, 9x this time estimated, maybe 6x. 6x. That would bring us to about 240,000. Maybe we have a 5x, so it'd be 200,000. Or maybe we have a 7x that'll bring us to like 280,000. We don't know. But we're right at the cusp, right before the halving event, right before the 100x, 40x, 9x, right? 6x. So again, don't fear yourself out. Don't FUD yourself out. Don't let anyone else FUD you out either. Right? This is the time to stay strong and stay focused and look forward to the future. All right, so that is Bitcoin. We're having a little bounce today, but overall still looking absolutely fantastic. But what about some alts? Well, today I know you guys are all degens. So let's talk about a little degen stuff. A lot of people mentioned this. I don't know why all my articles are reloading. Avalanche, they recently, a month ago, announced that they were going to support meme coins. So they have a $100 million fund. Not all of it's going to memes, I don't think. But they did say that they want to support memes because that is a new thing. They want to support their community, right? So they're treating memes as dApps. And then people wondered what the criteria is going to be, and they released it. It's a little bit small, hard to read. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right, so basically they said the community for the coin must have at least 2,000 holders. And then you have, the top 100 holders have less than 60% of supply. Liquidity is 200,000 or more. It has to be around for at least a month. The fully diluted market cap of 1 million or greater, and trading volume at least 100,000 on DEXs within the last 2 weeks, right? So it's pretty good. It doesn't mean that the memes have to be like super big, but there has to be a base, right? Like a certain criteria that shows that, yeah, it has been around for a decent while. It has a good number of holders. It's not too centralized, right? So that means less chance of a rug and so forth. That's all they're trying to do. So, you know, it's good to see. It's good to see. I mean, this time around, this cycle right now, memes are definitely leading the way. I would say every cycle we have something that's kind of like leading the way, so to speak. I remember 2017, obviously, it was like the ICOs. 2021, I think it was like the NFTs. I think NFTs really blew up in 2021. And this cycle, you know, 2024 could be the cycle of memes, right? We have seen a lot do very well. Anyways, so according to Avalanche, with their criteria, the two that fits the criteria, you have Cock, right, coming back up 23%. So you got Cock in you. I was looking at it. It does seem like it fits all the criteria. Number of holders, the liquidity, the holders in general, right? volume. So it meets all the criteria. Another one on Avalanche does meet all the criteria is Kimball. Also up 21%. And same thing, number of holders, liquidity, market cap, holders. Kimball's actually really, really, really decentralized. I mean, even the top wallet, usually that's like the contract wallet, is less than 4%. So they are really decentralized, really spread out. But yeah, that's why both of these are doing well, because it seems like Avalanche is going to support them. And how are they going to support them? By buying their tokens, I'm assuming. I don't know when it's going to happen, but you know, imagine they actually put 100 million in both of them, which I know is not going to happen because the 100 million is their like overall fund, right? But if they did put 100 million into it, wow, they would absolutely fly. So yeah, so that's Avalanche criteria. Moving on to Solana. Solana's whiff is up 30% today because they get listed on BitGet. They were showing a little weakness. Now they're up 40%. 40%. You know, I was looking at Bonk. Bonk is, I mean, whiff is only half of Bonk now. Bonk is still in the 600 millions. So whiff is gaining a lot of momentum, Now they're up 55%. I don't know why it's going up so much, but it is definitely going up. See, memes may be leading this cycle. Myro is still doing very well. They're up about 30%, although they're a little bit lower than last night. But both of these are leading the Solana ecosystem. Although I know there are so many others on Solana, I get asked every day. But these are the two that are leading the way in addition to Bonk. Bonk just seems to have lost a lot of momentum. Now it's all about whiff and Myro. And you know what? Speaking of Polygon, you know, they're also mulling to see if they should back meme coins, right? Because Avalanche is doing it. Avalanche came out and said we're doing it, right? So now you got Polygon that's coming out and saying, oh, and by the way, Solana does too. Solana didn't come out and say it officially, but I have heard Solana Foundation, they are supporting some of their major meme coins as well. And now Polygon's Sandeep is weighing in on it, wondering if Polygon themselves should officially support memes because there is a mania going on. And Sandeep also knows that all the other chains, right, that have a lot of memes are doing quite well. Polygon, unfortunately, has become very stagnant as of late. They have a lot of NFT projects from brand names, but you know, not a whole lot of movement. So I think this will be good if they support it. And of course, the one on Polygon that I like is Kulo, right? So Kulo is doing a little better today, up 51%, but they did fall a lot recently. So and Kulo could be the biggest meme on Polygon, and I'm hoping Sandeep does support Kulo. Because who doesn't like Kulo? And then you got others, you know, the other ecosystems that have, you know, they don't have the official support, but they're leading the way. You know, I got to mention Snek too. Snek also leading the way for Cardano. They have their game going, not the most impressive game, but they're still moving forward. Snek is also having a decent day at 8%, plus 8%. And you have Injective. Injective also has their meme called Ninja that just got added on Osmosis. And I believe this one is officially supported by the Injective team. I think this is something that they want to help grow, right? Because again, when you get a lot of memes that do very well, they're people drivers and they will drive a ton of people and liquidity and volume and excitement to these chains. And I think all these chains are thinking hard about officially supporting memes to help them grow, right? Kind of like Avalanche. I don't know if Avalanche is the first one to kind of do it. Maybe others have, but they made a big splash about it. And now I think everyone is paying attention. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let me see. Let me see if I missed anything. Speaking of Solana memes, Sam is asking about Myra. I have seen that before. Myra doesn't seem to have a lot of momentum though. Cock to the bone. All right. In my hero saying, if we are going to 13K, all models are broken and BTC is crashing to 3K, mediocre painter will be buying at 100K. Are you responding to someone in my hero? All right. Let's see. Can Beam hit 20 cents? Yes, it can. You know, not a whole lot of Beam talk recently, but hey, they're doing very well. 11% today. They were at 1 billion recently. A slight breather. But yeah, I think besides memes doing very well in 2024, I think games will do well. I mean, I'm just here. I'm getting pitched all day, every day now. A lot of them are games, like really well-backed games from gaming studios, from big exchanges, from big gamers. There are a ton of games that are coming out, and Beam is going to benefit from all the games. So I like them. Let's see. Lythan, when house update? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do any house updates. I may do like a video here or there in one of my rooms or a few rooms or something. I don't think I'm gonna go through the whole thing. CRO as an exchange, I guess is okay. I've never really used them. They're based in Singapore. So, I don't know. It's not exchange I would use. Like, you know, I just use others. I think they're okay. I'm not a fan of their chain. Ever thought about moving somewhere warmer? Oh, yes. Yes. I don't know when or if that's ever going to happen. I like where I live. I've been here my whole life, so I think it's a really great place. So I don't know, like after the kids go to college, move out, whatever, maybe we'll just travel and, you know, go, you know, I'll buy some vacation homes. So just go to them when it's warm, maybe something like that. I don't think I'm moving anytime soon. I think AI narratives will see big gains as halving event. Carlos, you may be right, but we haven't really seen an AI push yet. That's because there's really nothing useful. I think if we get something really, really useful, that's the problem with almost all major chains, that we don't have a lot of useful dApps. There are a few, but very little. If we actually see a project utilize AI in a big way, that is mind-blowing, kind of like ChatGPT, if we could see something like that with a dApp, then I think we're going to see major movements for that dApp and for that chain. But unfortunately, we don't. We just have a lot of promises like, we're going to use AI for this, or we're going to use AI for that. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like nothing's being used. It's just all hype. Just, you know, projects throwing buzzwords out there. Thank you, Ran. Appreciate that. Do you ever use stop losses on my leverage trades? Yes. Last night, I had some few open, and I just put stop loss of 50% on all of them. Because recently, I mean, it was important. Even a few, like last week or a few days ago, I forgot. It seemed like the market was going to come up. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to use stop losses. I wake up, boom, they're all liquidated. So I'm like, right now, using stop loss is very, very important if you go be leverage trading. Very important. Set it at 25% or 50%. If you get stop lost, okay, move on. What could be a good use of AI in crypto? I don't know. Like, for example, let's say Dex Screener. You know, they could use AI to pinpoint the coins that have the most momentum. Maybe even, you know, auto trade it with the AI, with a bot or something, and make you a lot of money by doing that, right? I know there are some that people have custom developed that's kind of doing the same thing where you can snipe all the new memes and stuff. But like, imagine a project that did that. All you have to do is sign up, and then it just auto snipes all the the new memes for you, auto trades for you, and at the end of the day, it gives you your profit, right? Hey, that's a good use of AI. It's not even really AI, but it's just really useful. It helps people make money, right? That seems like it's a very easy thing to develop, but no one's developing it, or at least no one's marketing it in a big way. There's another one that someone told me, like, you could have an AI, let's say a ChatGPT kind of assistant, that would scan through all the white papers of every single project. So then you could just ask this assistant, like, okay, you know, based on the white papers, which ones are the most, you know, decentralized, or which ones have the most technical aspects, or which ones are the fastest, or something like that. You would just have a big brain that knows everything about everyone, right? And you could also utilize that to, well, you could use it to do research, but you could also layer on new events or new partnerships or new announcements or whatever. Then that AI could be just like all knowing, right? And then it could also make recommendations. You make it recharge too, you know, based on totality of everything. It can make recommendations. Well, this is what I think is going to do the best in 2024, right? You know, stuff like that. There's a lot of good things you could do with AI. It's just not being done right now. Cankles, I want an algo review. I'm not an algo fan, man. There's a lot of people that love algo. I'm not one of them. Isn't that the plot of Westworld? What did I say? Densite web design. Interesting. New member, thank you. Thank you for joining. Please look at 0x Dev, one of the best utility projects on ETH. If it's that good, I would have heard of it. 0x, the open exchange token. It wants you to sign up. What? I don't get it. It has its own stablecoin, a trading platform. Yes, it helps with claims like your FTX claims, Celsius claims, 3O's capital claim, block. It's like doing claims for you. I don't know. I don't know why you would want them to do claims for you. Anyways, this is definitely not a project I would be involved with. Do you use the Kepler wallet for Celestia or injective storage? No. I just use Trust Wallet. I haven't looked at some of the other wallets outside of Ledger and Treasure. I should, though. But I like Trust Wallet. I think Trust Wallet is very good. Lola, wrong token. Then you have to tell me which was the right token. Zero X Dev. This is even a worse project, man. 2 million. Don't be don't be asking me to open 2 million project and say it's the best on ETH. You know, I still haven't looked into Shido, although a lot of people have been asking me about Shido. I'm gonna do some research into it. But it does seem like a lot of people's asking about it. Relatively small. Helium. Now, Helium is interesting. Helium, I'm more interested in them now because of Helium Mobile. Because I think this is interesting. Helium Mobile, $20 a month, gives you all the data, text, and you know, phone calls you'll ever need. They're piggybacking off of T-Mobile's network and, of course, their 5G network. So that's a real world disruptor, right? So I think that's kind of really, that's interesting. That's interesting. Tangent Wallet is pretty cool. I've heard that too. I've heard that. Some of these new age wallets, I mean, they do look fancy, you know, and cool. Like some of them have biometrics built in, or like a triple authenticator or something like that. Ultimately, though, here's the thing about all wallets. It really comes down to the chains that support and also the recovery phrase. What are you going to do with the recovery phrase? You could have the fanciest wallet there is with triple authentication and fingerprint and PIN and everything else, right? But the recovery phrase is the most important. How are you going to store that and secure that? Because the wallet itself is meaningless. It's just really the recovery phrase. Johnny, well, I just talked about it. Cock is doing better today because Avalanche officially announced their eligibility criteria, and I don't know when they're gonna start buying and how much they're gonna buying. If they put 100 million into Cock, it's gonna make that Cock grow a lot. Yeah, I just don't know how much they're gonna put out of the 100 million. If they're just gonna throw like $5,000 in there, well, you know, that's nothing, right? But if they really go support them, you know, they could put like 100K or something into each one, and back them officially. I'm sure you have to be doxxed though. I don't know if the founders of like say Cock and Kimball are doxxed because I'm pretty sure they're gonna ask them like to show who they are too. How do you say this? Cetus? This is on a Sui network. Interesting. Is this their DEX? Empower liquidity built for DeFi. Oh, it's actually more than Sui. It's Aptos and Sui. Access that. Better say I can't access it. Yeah, there are DEX and a launch pad. Yeah, for Sui and Aptos. I don't know how much TVL they have though. Bonk from Solana. They have a lot of wrap stuff. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know how big they are. Let's see. Let's check Sui here. They don't even show up on under Sui. Oh no, they do. The third. They have 56. They're the biggest DEX for Sui. Let's check Aptos. They don't show up for Aptos. Oh yes, they do. Over here. They're nothing with Aptos, but they're the biggest DEX on Sui. This could be a good one. Sui is getting big, so what is their market cap? 30 million? Hey, I'd say this is pretty good. And they're on a lot of changes like BingX, KuCoin, OKX, Gate, OddMexC2. Yeah, this is a good one. I'll keep my eyes on this. I think this could be good. An MCT. As appealing as that sounds, that seems way too overboard. So, and Jack Mallers, he has a very dirty mouth. So that would not surprise me. That's probably the last time he's going to be invited on to Yahoo Finance. Justin, AI tech token innovates AI and blockchain services, offers staking incentives, and a focus on sustainable European data centers. Your opinion? Sounds like that's like from a brochure, man. And AI tech is so generic as a name. I'll tell you, I hate this website already. I'm going to say no to this. I feel like this is a project, just my gut feel. It's just a lot of claims, but no substance. Just based on that website and what you just said. That's just too many things that, I don't know, a red flag. Can any of these ETFs reach Tesla's price? I don't, well, it depends. If they, if the ETFs get to, 800 billion in market cap, sure. But there's a ratio between how much Bitcoin they hold versus what the stock price is. There's some kind of ratio. That's how they balance it out. But these fund managers keep adding 100 million every day, 100, 150, 160 million every day. Doesn't seem like they're stopping. This is from yesterday, so I don't know what it is going to be today. Star Atlas, not a fan of. There are a lot of broken promises. One of the major games of 2021, still not done. Yeah, so not hopeful. Not hopeful. I actually know I spoke to the founder prior. Yeah, the founder, Michael, of Star Atlas, before he was in like a cannabis play, and that failed completely. And before that, he was doing some kind of like bus tours in Vegas. So, I don't know how he transited to. I don't know how he just transited to being a game maker. Oh man, I just got sent this. This is no good. Grayscale just sent another 760 million to Coinbase. Man, someone needs to stop. Someone needs to stop Grayscale. or someone needs to stop the people within Grayscale from selling. You know, Grayscale got us the ETFs, right, by suing the SEC, and they got us spot ETFs. But it seems like Grayscale may have been a Trojan horse because everyone that's been holding on their Bitcoins within that trust is now looking to sell. That's what it looks like. But, you know, hopefully the rest of the market, you know, offsets this. Why are they moving them to Coinbase? Why do you think? No one ever moves to Coinbase for good reasons. But, you know, it's kind of like peeling off the Band-Aid. You don't want to do it slowly. You just want to get over with and you just, like, rip it out. That's what we're seeing right now. Grayscale is mass selling. So I guess the good thing is just let them complete. Let all the insiders that want to sell out. Then we don't have to worry about this anymore, right? I mean, they have enormous amounts. So the good thing is, even with their dumping, the rest of the fund managers are picking up, and the net inflows is still greater than net outflows, right? Grayscale sending Coinbase with Coinbase holding it for them? No, that's not the reason. No. Grayscale already has their own custody. They're sending to Coinbase because they're going to sell. That's the only reason why they're sending to Coinbase. They already have. Keep in mind, Grayscale is not getting more Bitcoin. They are selling Bitcoin. They're not having inflows. They're only having outflows. Whatever they hold is already in a custodian. If that happens to be Coinbase, well, okay. But those are tracking something else. They're sending to Coinbase to sell. They said Coinbase to buy CP. That's not what I think is happening. You are Arthur. Coinbase owned by Circle, essentially. You have the opposite, man. Circle is essentially owned by Coinbase, not vice versa. Yeah, so far out of 8 days, Grayscale sold about $4 billion worth of Bitcoin, but the entire, I guess all the fund managers added together, added about 4.9 billion, or basically 5 billion. So in total, we still had an extra $1 billion worth of Bitcoin taken out of circulation and into these funds, right? So overall, it's still a win, but yesterday, I believe, was the first day where Grayscale's outflow exceeded the inflow. So that's why you see on the right side, minus 106 million, right? But again, like I said, this is like ripping off a Band-Aid, right? If insiders want to sell, let them sell now, right? Let them sell now. And then get it over with, and then we don't have to worry about this as we get closer to having an event and beyond. That's when we will form a new high and keep going, right? So let them sell. We will continue to buy. The holders will continue to hodl and buy and DCA. Let the insiders let them take their profits. How much does Grayscale have left to sell? Well, according to this, $20 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's a lot. That's if they're going to sell to zero, which is not going to happen. At some point, it's going to stabilize. I saw someone argue that there's also massive selling from Grayscale because of their fees of 1.5% versus everyone else of 0.2%. So obviously, if you're holding on a lot of GBTC, you're thinking, why am I paying 1.5% when I could pay 0.2% for another ETF, right? That is also another reason too. I don't know why they want to make the fee so high. Maybe because they know there's going to be a lot of selling, so they did it on purpose. They don't care about the inflows right now. They just want to stop the outflows. If they want to do that, they should just like raise the fees to like 5% or something. You know, then that'll prevent people from selling. But I'm sure there's like some laws against that. Anyways, this is a chart to focus on. Is Michael Saylor, is this Michael Saylor or he's not part of it anymore? What are you talking about, Mark? Michael Saylor still has his like 180,000 Bitcoins, whatever that he has. 190,000 Bitcoins. Yeah, that's not going to change anytime soon. Jacob. Cock still doing pretty well. Kimball doing well. Let's see if Avalanche starts buying. I hope Sandeep from Polygon starts supporting memes. That'll be pretty cool. Bitcoin is still holding at 40,000 right now. So do you think Grayscale will be acquired? How might that affect the fund? I think there may be something like that being talked about. Grayscale. I would not be surprised if after Grayscale dumps everything that they have, then they get scooped up by BlackRock. That would not surprise me at all. Or Fidelity, one of the two. They're both powerhouses. That's why their fund numbers are so similar. Eventually, most of this 20.5 billion is going to be in BlackRock and Fidelity. I think we're going to probably see them in the 10 billion range, both of them, and they're just going to scoop everything up from Grayscale. And at that point, one of them will probably just buy Grayscale. Yeah, I think that's probably gonna happen. Michael Saylor has been focusing more on making YouTube commercials lately. I hope you're joking. Those are all scam commercials. I've been seeing a lot of these scam AI commercials from Ripple, from Solana, from MicroStrategy, right? Don't fall for those. Those are all scams. They ask you to like go to some site for some airdrop or rewards. Do not go to them. You will get scammed. Saylor is selling his shares to buy 250 million worth of personal Bitcoin. Yeah. You know, the thing is, he used to say this, but he doesn't say it anymore. Everyone concentrates on how much MicroStrategy holds. At some point before, he said personally he had about 20,000 Bitcoins. That was like years ago. I remember an interview he did in like 2021 where he said, yeah, me personally, I have like 20,000 worth. That number probably has been going up. So, you know, who knows how much Michael Saylor himself holds. Maybe he holds like 30,000 Bitcoins, 40,000 Bitcoins, right? That's on top of what he has in MicroStrategy. So, I mean, It's just enormous amount. Enormous amount. If memes are doing this now, who knows what a bull run... I mean, that's exactly right, Shady. If memes are this hot already, and we're not even at all-time high or at a new high, imagine what the memes are going to be doing when, or just all projects in general, really, will be doing when Bitcoin's at 100,000. Just imagine that. Like, the amount of money that will be, like, moved around and FOMO'd into is going to be so enormous once Bitcoin breaks 70,000 and goes to 100,000. I mean, everything else is going to be... That's why I said, even something like Solana, I think could do a 10x in 2024. Just in 2024, I truly believe Solana could do a 10x. And if Solana could do a 10x, everything else could certainly do a 10x and more. Memes could do a 100x if Bitcoin heads to, you know, I don't know, 100,000 by the end of this year. Yeah, it's fun to think about, but it could be reality soon. Those scam ads are out of control. Every time I see it, I click into it on the bottom left-hand corner. If you see a scam ad, you click into the link on the bottom left-hand corner, and then it'll actually bring up the video where it's hosted on YouTube, and then I report it. That's the way to do it. That's how you report them. You have to click into the ad first and then report that video. Otherwise, if you're just reporting where you're watching it from, then you're reporting a legit channel that's showing the ad, and that's no good. Surely someone's found his wallet. I don't know. Arkham, I'm sure Arkham is looking. Maybe he paid Arkham not to release it. I mean, I would think Arkham could find it. Arkham's finding everyone's wallets. They found all these personal wallets or private wallets of Coinbase. Coinbase had about 40-something billion of Bitcoin. And that's how they're able to do all these OTC sells. Fire up. Can 100K make you a millionaire next bull? Yeah, 10x. I think that could certainly happen. 10x, you got 2 years, not just this year and next year. I think that could certainly happen for a lot of people. All right, guys. To conclude, you know what? We got a little recovery today. Bitcoin's right around 40,000, right? You still have these fund managers loading up. But the good thing is retail investors are leading the way. Don't get scared out of the market, despite the fact that Grayscale may be dumping more. Eventually, that's going to stop. Retail will continue to hodl. Yeah, and we don't want the big fund managers, even though they're loading up. And short term, that's a good thing. We don't want that square for funds to blow up, right? We need to save that for ourselves, so be careful. But as for Bitcoin, it's still doing well. It's doing the same as it has done before in previous cycles, so make sure you stay focused, stay strong, and tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.